Okay, let's react to a bunch of trade ideas. A lot of these from The Ringer and Bleacher Report. Anyway, here's the first one. Phoenix gets OG Anunoby. The Raptors get 3 unprotected firsts in 24, 26, 28. Jay Crowder, Dario Saric. I will talk about OG and his value and just all the rumors circulating him, but real quick for Phoenix. With CP's age, man, 2026 and 28, that just sounds pretty damn scary. But also, Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby within the same defense also sounds kind of scary. And of course, OG's no slouch on offense. But I guess the other thing for Phoenix is if they're going to make this sort of a long road trade, then they've got to be really confident that they've got a way to get another point guard. Because CP ain't going to be there forever. The obvious counter to this is they've got Devin Booker. He's improved as a passer, and of course the scoring is awesome. So, okay, yeah, maybe they would be totally fine making this aggressive of a move. For the Raptors, so partially why I included this one is because I just wanted to have a talk about OG Anunoby real quick. The draft pick conversation with him, it's getting wild, man. Like, I've genuinely seen 3 firsts rumored. Now, to be fair, a lot of people speculate that's the Knicks who have a bunch of extra picks and it's not just their own picks. And also, sometimes when it's like there's 3 picks rumored for a guy, like one of those could be a pick swap, which means they don't just outright lose a draft pick, you know? The other thing that's funny too, if I picture an OG Anunoby trade and the Raptors get like some picks and all that, it would be kind of funny if then the Raptors used one of those picks on a guy that could hopefully become Anunoby one day, just like a 6'8" wing who's like, well, he could be good from 3 and good defensively and all that. And hell, the dude still drops 17 a game. Yeah, he's not an amazing playmaker or whatever, but yeah, this is not the first time Anunoby's going to pop up in this video. And by that I mean he's the very next one. The Grizzlies get him for Danny Green, David Roddy, and once again 3 firsts, although for the Grizzlies, I mean, this year's first, you'll feel okay trading that for a 25-year-old. The 2024 via the Warriors, we imagine that's not like a massive loss if you're Memphis, especially because you're still going to have your own pick that year. And then lottery protected 2025, which we assume the Grizzlies would be really good at 2025, so the Raptors would get that pick. Okay, so if we're going to exist within the realm of it's going to take at least 2 firsts to get Anunoby, which even then I'm still like, are we sure that's what it's really going to be? Are we sure the Raptors are going to move him? But that is certainly a let's go for the championship type of move, whether it's going for it this year or going for it for a lot of years. Granted, you're going to have to pay Desmond Bane pretty soon here, which you're happy to do, and also OG's going to want a contract in a couple of seasons, so okay, there's some money things. Will the Grizzlies actually do anything? Who knows? The other thing, too, is, I mean, if they picked up OG and they didn't have to trade Dillon Brooks, then there would have to be a who's starting exactly between these 2 guys, because obviously Jaren, Steven Adams, and Desmond Bane are starting. Now, when Jaren's at center, you can go with all those guys, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to keep this about the Raptors a little bit, although we're going to shift it to Fred VanVleet. The Clippers trade Luke Kennard, John Wall, unprotected 2028 first for Fred. So that might feel like an underwhelming return for the Raptors, although if you're willing to wait around, that Clippers pick that far out could be really good. But the thing is that Fred is most likely about to decline his player option, and I mean, the guy has said that he wants north of, 130 over 4 years, basically, which averages out to over $30 million a season. Maybe with incentives, you can knock that down more so to like a guaranteed 26, 27 a season. Regardless, it's a whole lot of money for Fred VanVleet, who is playing worse this season than he did last year. You know, his efficiency within the three-point line has been always blah, and his 3 balls have not been as good this season. He's had little moments here and there of going off, but, you know, if you're the Raptors, there is a chance that you are put in a position pretty much of we give this guy a massive contract or we get a return for him that we're cool with, but we don't really, really love. Now, look, the last time a guard who was not that big got a huge contract, it was Jalen Brunson. He's been awesome for the Knicks, so, I mean, anything can happen, but that might be where we're at. I mean, I suppose it's possible that they could just extend him on a contract that's a little more team-friendly, but it just seems like Fred is pretty determined to make as much money as possible on his next one. For the Clippers' sake, listen, they're so all in right now, yeah, whatever pick you got left, trade it for Fred VanVleet. Steve doesn't care about how much it's going to cost him on the tax bill, just go for it. I will mention the Lakers for like 30 seconds here. I mean, we know the situation. It's the 27, the 29 picks. Patrick Beverley is your best trade candidate with the $13 million expiring. They've got some smaller deals as well. Based on every piece of reporting we have heard about those picks, teams want them unprotected. The Lakers want to make them protected. And we imagine that they would really just want to trade one of them protected and not even think about trading both of them. I think Gary Trent Jr. would be a nice addition to the Lakers at the deadline. I'll just say that. Once again, the Clippers, Mike Conley for Bob Cove, Reggie Jackson, 2024 second. Is that the best you could get from Mike Conley if you were the Jazz? There's no real way for me to know that. Just they're on the bubble, man. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're 26-26, ninth seed in the West. I just feel like if Danny Ainge was not going to get a first-round pick for Mike Conley, he would make sure to get like 3 second-rounders at least or something. For the Clippers, yeah, this makes sense. And the one thing about a point guard deal for the Clippers, whoever it might be, because, those rumors are out there right now, like Kawhi and PG are still going to handle the ball a lot, and they're still going to go in their ISO modes. And so thinking of a point guard for them, it's interesting because you want a guy who can shoot, and both Fred and Conley can shoot, so there's that. And of course they're going to help out with ball handling, but they're not going to be holding the ball all game. I mean, Kawhi and PG are still going to have it a lot, so for what all that means. The D'Angelo Russell Wolves stuff, which was heating up when I did that video, and now it's, I don't know, Zach Lowe said on his podcast, and he's got connections, of course, that he feels like that has simmered down a little bit. D'Lo, he's been very efficient, as he's not doing everything on the ball for them at this point, as he and Edwards are kind of splitting up ball handling, and Kyle Anderson's taking on some more as well. D'Lo's still not perfect between his defense, and sometimes the ball stops a little more than you'd like it to with him, but I think he's been fine, even if you could definitely find takes, especially like 2 weeks ago of T-Wolves fans being like, oh my god, get this guy off the team. I am perhaps a little more intrigued than I should be about the Nets picking up just some more size. There's been some rumors for Mo Bamba for them, and the fact that he can shoot more than your average center is interesting. Like, his percentages from 3 are good, he just doesn't take like a super lot. Like, there is that, but then a part of me thinks that they would just be better off picking up a forward who can switch more defensively, which is what they want to do, but you can still switch around the big. I don't know. We've also had some Alex Caruso rumors where the exact thing was there were rumblings that the Bulls felt like they could get 2 firsts for him, which I am doubtful on. We all know how good he is on defense, but I would be very surprised if Alex Caruso moved for 2 firsts. But perhaps like a whole bunch of seconds, maybe like a protected first. Like, I could picture that sort of thing. And depending on where he ended up, like, he could definitely make a difference for a team.